Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. Woo! I mean, like, we can put all that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yes, people, big up to your damn selves, guys. As always, make sure you're smashing the like, sharing, and subscribing to the damn channel. So today, what are we here for? I saw an article, you know, talking about, you know, Jurgen Klopp, and it was a thank you Jurgen tribute night at the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool, right? So, you know, they were just talking about, you know, various different things, and you know, the conversation came up, should I say, in regards to, you know, players and signings and stuff like that. And Jurgen Klopp named 3 players. Like, when I say 3 players in terms of imagine these players were to come to Liverpool, I think these are players that he definitely, you know, would have wanted Liverpool to, you know, to have signed if he was able to have his way. So the 3 players were Kylian Mbappe was one of the players that he had named, and of course we know that, you know, there was this whole, was it Mbappe 2020? I'm pretty sure that that was the hashtag, you know, at one point. And I think from what was reported, whether it was true or not, we will never, I guess we'll never really and truly know, was that Jurgen Klopp had actually spoken, I think, to Kylian Mbappe, you know, a while back, you know, potentially about joining Liverpool. And I think, again, these are all reports. I'm not saying that any of this is actually true, but I think when you look back, I think he would have joined, but financially, that kind of package, only maybe one club could actually pay that. Maybe even 2. You could push it to 3 if you want to add a Chelsea in there. Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe even 4 actually, because PSG can obviously pay that package. Chelsea maybe, but they might struggle. City, I think, could pay that. And then of course Real Madrid, which is a team he ended up with. The other player was Jude Bellingham. We all know the Bellingham Jude saga. Yeah, that was very embarrassing, I think, for the ITKs. I think that was more embarrassing for the ITKs of this world, because a lot of them were convinced that, you know, Liverpool were going to sign, you know, Jude Bellingham. They were convinced that, you know, he was definitely coming to us, and ultimately he ended up joining Real Madrid, which was so crazy because we faced them in the final. You know, in that year, the summer that he actually left, we actually had them in the final, and everyone was saying, "Oh, this is going to be the game where." You know, and I guess we'll never know if he would have gone to Liverpool instead. But listen, I know Jurgen Klopp, he was an admirer of him. He had spoken about him before, maybe not in terms of so loosely in terms of transfer, but I think it was quite evident that this was a player that if he could sign, you know, can we, you know, possibly get, you know, him in. And then another player that he spoke about was Erling Haaland. I mean, I would love to know what the conversation was when we looked at Salzburg at that time. And we said, you know what, let's sign Minamino instead. I would love to know what the conversation was at that time. Let's sign, we've got Haaland here, Minamino here. Let's go for Minamino over Haaland. I would love, because Haaland seems like he was from young, it seemed like it was so evident that Haaland was going to become this player that we see today, which is one of the, if not the best striker in world football. It just seemed like it was an inevitable thing. But for some reason, we went with Minamino over our Haaland. Now, the only thing I can think of is agents, in terms of he seemed like someone who wanted a clear path in what he was trying to do. He has an end goal in football, whatever that is, whatever that might be. He has that end goal, right? Which is obviously winning trophies, Champions Leagues, and, you know, competing at the highest level. I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying Liverpool couldn't have done that, but maybe the pathway wasn't really there in his eyes at that period of time. That's the only other thing I can think of, because otherwise, if not, and he would have been willing to come, then I definitely have to start looking at Liverpool and thinking, yeah, it seems quite silly that you fumbled the bag there. You know, I don't know how. Like I said, Minamino, he looked good for Salzburg, but Haaland was Haaland at the end of the day. And I don't know if we just hedged our bets and thought, hey, you know what, we can get Minamino in, he can. Yeah, that was very interesting, very, very interesting. But it also got me thinking, all of this kind of stuff. It got me thinking in regards to what other players, did Klopp kind of miss out on? And it might have not been, I'm not saying it's through his fault, because obviously it's not him signing the players, but other players he may have admired and stuff like that, he wanted to sign. Obviously, we know about the whole Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez. I think this one is worse in terms of all three went to the same team. It's not like all three went to three individual teams. They went to the same team, literally the same team, and we were probably in for all of them at one stage in time. I'm sure we didn't want to sign Enzo when he was still like 6 million or something like that from I can't remember what club he came from before he moved to Benfica. Obviously had that brilliant World Cup, and then wins. I think, did he win the young player or something like that in the World Cup? So it's riding the wave, and then of course moves to Chelsea for 100 odd mil. Lavia, we tried to bid, we were bidding too low, couldn't get him in. Caicedo, I think that's the biggest miss, was Caicedo. I think even now I look at it and think, yeah, we definitely missed a trick with not signing Moises Caicedo, because he's absolutely fantastic. And this season, he's showing everybody why. Tchouaméni, he was another player that we obviously tried to get in, and there was that choice, probably like with a Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid or Liverpool. As I keep telling people, you're going to go 9 times out of 10, you're going to go Real Madrid. And why not? It's the biggest club in world football. So I wasn't even mad at this one. This one was more of a, yeah, if we can get him, great. But I think once Real Madrid kind of came in, yeah, it kind of looked like it was game over. Another was Nabil Fekir. If everyone remembers, Fekir did the video. Listen, that video can't be erased from people's memory. That video was done. Welcome to Liverpool and all that kind of stuff. It was there. He was standing there like this, same way you can see, in his photo and everything, like on the screen. And then that was it. Poof. That was like, it was like literally poof, just everything that was done. It was literally just done. Like, wasn't joining. I think something to do with the medical or something, whatever it is. But I'm sure he came out later on and mentioned, sort of like spoke about it and said, yeah, no, it was nothing to do with that. It was to do with something else. But again, let me know in the comments, section, what that kind of conversation was. Another player that Klopp wanted was Thomas Lemar. I think we actually even went to go and do a medical with Monaco at the time, whilst we were still trying to negotiate a deal, but Monaco were asking for 90 million, I think, at the time. I think they were doing that to quite a lot of clubs, because Lemar was like hot property, when he was at, Monaco. But yeah, unfortunately, turns out, that Liverpool weren't really willing to spend, that kind of money on a player like Thomas Lemar at that time. And of course, listen, that's, like I say, that's a lot of money, to be kind of spending on a player like that. If I'm being honest with you, as much as I still feel that he was, he was a really good player, and I would have really loved to have signed him. But for 90 M's, Monaco are really trying to fleece everybody. Another player as well, I think Jurgen Klopp tried to sign him before he went to Borussia Dortmund, actually. So whilst he was still in France, was obviously Ousmane Dembele. Imagine if we had a Dembele in the team. That would have been crazy. I think that would have been crazy. So I decided, let's do a little mock-up of an 11, so to speak, of players that, what our dream team could have potentially have looked like. Another player actually that I didn't put on the list was actually Ben Chilwell. We actually tried to sign Ben Chilwell, and Klopp wanted Ben Chilwell, but I think at the time Leicester were asking for too much money at the time, which is crazy, because I'm sure we bid like 5 million, but Leicester were asking for like 10 or 12, and we said no. And I think, yeah, and then obviously, after that, it's then Andrew Robertson and stuff, which is crazy, because of course you look at it on the face of it and you think, nah, but we got Robbo, things worked out, which is good. But I would have definitely have liked to have gotten, at the time, when I'm thinking of that time period, I definitely would have liked to have gotten, someone like a Ben Chilwell. But listen, man, it's one of those things. But yeah, he was another player, obviously. But this could have been our team. Now, I'm not saying that this team, it would have done any different to the team that we, ended up winning Champions League and all of that kind of stuff. But I'll be honest, this team is pretty decent. If I'm being super honest with you, look at it. Caicedo and Tchouaméni, playing in the kind of pivot position. Ousmane Dembele obviously would have had Salah, but just for the sake of this, Salah, Mbappe, Dembele, Mbappe, Haaland up front. With Bellingham playing in that 10 role. you know, with Konaté, Virgil, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson obviously in goal. No, we would have had a good team, man. Would have had a really, really, really good team. Let me know in the comment section, are there any other players that you feel that, you know, Klopp really wanted to sign, or are there anybody that I've kind of missed out on? Let me know, of course, in the comment section, and throw in your kind of Jurgen Klopp dream 11, man. Let me see what some of you guys are saying in the comment section. Make sure you guys smash a like on the way out, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.